So today we're going to continue our look at different transformations. Today we're going to be looking at dilations. But before we do that, we have the warm-up. 2 questions, one reflected over the y-axis and one reflected over the x-axis. Give it a try and then come back and we'll go over the answers. So the first one, we have x prime, y prime, and z prime. Because we're going over the y-axis, it's our x value that's going to change. So x prime is going to become negative 1, 2. Y prime is going to become negative 2, 1. And z prime is going to become negative 1, negative 2. Our quadrilateral down here over the x-axis. Remember the x-axis, it's our y value that's going to change. So q prime is going to be negative 1, negative 1. R prime is going to be 0, negative 3. S prime is going to be 3, negative 2. And T prime is going to be 4, 0. Because remember that 0 doesn't really change to the positive negatives. Today we're going to be looking at dilations. And if you've ever been to the eye doctor and they dilate your eye, that's where they make your pupil really, really big or really, really small. So basically what a dilation is either enlarging something or shrinking something. Okay? So this time we're not just spinning or sliding or flipping the figure. We're actually changing the figure more than we've done in the past. We're actually enlarging or growing that figure or shrinking it. So with a dilation, what we have is we don't have a formula, but we're told a scale factor. And that scale factor is how much the shape is changing. And a scale factor larger than 1, so a scale factor greater than 1, is going to enlarge the shape, make it bigger. And I can write up here. Scale factor less than 1 is going to shrink the shape. And in order to enlarge everything or shrink everything in the shape, we do that by multiplying. So basically with the scale factor of 4, what we're going to do is we're going to multiply every coordinate by 4. So let's start with A prime. We started with 0, 0. Our scale factor says to multiply everything by 4. So 0 times 4 and 0 times 4. And that's going to give us our new point of 0, 0. First one didn't change at all, but you'll see as we go through the others how this will change. So for B prime, we started with 8, 0. We're going to increase by that scale factor of 4. So 8 times 4 and 0 times 4. Both x and y multiply. And we're going to get the new point 32, 0. And you can see how that coordinate of 8 grew or enlarged and is now 4 times its size at the point 32, 0. C prime is at 3, negative 2. Again, we're enlarging. So 3 times 4 and negative 2 times 4. And this new point is going to be at 12, negative 8. Same thing again. This time we're looking at a scale factor of 3. I didn't touch on this in the last example, but I am trusting that you're okay with graphing. So, triangle, we have D prime. We start at 1, 2. We're enlarging by that scale factor of 3. So 1 times 3 and 2 times 3. So the new points of D prime are actually going to be at 3, 6. E prime, which is 0, 4, again gets enlarged by that scale factor of 3. So 0 times 3 and 4 times 3. Sorry, my handwriting's pretty bad tonight. 0 times 3 is still 0, and 4 times 3 is 12. F prime is 1, negative 1. 1 times 3 and negative 1 times 3. 3 times 1 is 3. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. I do want to see the work, even if you can do the multiplication in your head. The more you write out the work, the more you're ingraining that formula into your head and making sure that you remember that dilation means enlarging and shrinking, and that scale factor means you're going to be multiplying by something. Still doing our dilations, but if you'll notice now our scale factor is 1/2. So we're actually going to be looking at shrinking now. We're going to be multiplying by a number smaller than 1. So we're going to start with j, and we have j prime. J started at 3, 8. Everything is going to get multiplied by 1/2 or 0.5. And 3 times 1/2 is going to give us 1.5, and 8 times 1/2 is going to give us 4. So j prime is actually at 1.5, 4. And with the graphing, you would have to estimate where that 1.5 would be. K prime is at 10, 6. So 10 times 1/2 and 6 times 1/2 is going to give me new points of 5, 3. L is at 8, 2. L prime is going to have everything multiplied by 1/2. So 8 times 1/2 and 2 times 1/2. And that's going to give me 4, 1. Quadrilateral, this time we're multiplying by a scale factor of 3/4. Remember how to multiply by your fraction on the calculator. So let's start h prime. So that's -8, 4. So -8 times 3/4 and 4 times 3/4. That's going to give us -6, 3. J prime is 6, 4. I'm sorry, j is 6, 4, so j prime. So 6 times 3/4 and 4 times 3/4 again. 6 times 3/4 totally lost my train of thought there. 6 times 3/4. That's going to be 9/2. So that would be 4.5. And 4 times 3/4 will be 3 again. K is at 6, -4, so K prime. So we have 6 times 3/4 again. And -4 this time times 3/4. That's going to give us 4.5 and -3 instead of +3. L is at -8, 4. So L prime will be -8 times 3/4. And -4 times 3/4. And that's going to give us -6. -3 is our final point. And again, I'm assuming that you would be okay with the graphing of this. Go ahead, try these two on your own. You'll notice that both of them have a scale factor of 2 and 3, both being larger than 1. That's going to be enlarging our figure. So for the first one, W is at -2, 4. So W prime going to be -2 times 2, 4 times 2, giving me a new point at -4, 8. X is at 1, 4. multiply each by 2. And x prime is at 2, 8. Y is at -3, -1. Multiply each by 2. And we get -6, -2. Z prime, or Z is at 3, -1. Multiply each by 2. And you end up with Z prime being 6, -2. Over here, number 2, scale factor of 3. F is at -1, 1. Multiply each by 3, so -1 times 3. 1 times 3. I know I'm writing small now, so my 3's look really bad. That's going to give me -3, 3 as F prime. G is at 1, 1. Multiply both by 3. And G prime will be at 3, 3. H is at 2, -1. Multiply both by 3, and we get 6, -3 for H prime. I is at -1, -1. I prime, multiply both by 3. And we would end up with -3, -3. I barely got that one in there. Make sure those 3's are negative for that last one. So on this slide, we're going to look at finding the scale factor. And in order to do that, you're going to use the formula. Scale factor is dilation over original. So in this case, we have 0.2, got it backwards. Well, we have 11.25 over 0.25. If you do that division, you should find out that it's a scale factor of 45, or that piece of sand was enlarged 45 times its normal size. And that should make sense because it started out small and it grew or enlarged. So we should have known that the number we were looking at should have been bigger than. Same thing here, scale factor is going to be dilation over original. So his eye is normally 6 millimeters. They dilated it and it went to 9. That's going to become 3/2, or a scale factor of 1.5. Again, they enlarged it, so it should make sense that that pupil grew. So now we're looking at it on a graph. Our original is down here on the bottom. And what you want to do is you want to pick a straight side where you would be able to count the boxes. And from A to D, I could count my boxes as being 3. Same side on the other shape on your image, so A prime to D prime. When I count that, I end up with 9 boxes. Remember that our scale factor is dilation over original. So this is going to be 9 over 3, or a scale factor of 3. How would you figure out if you needed to use the AB distance? How would you go about figuring out the measurement of that side by chance? Hopefully you remember that you could use the Pythagorean theorem and make a triangle, 2, 1. And you would have been able to figure out your AB side from that. Basically, this is just kind of some notes, some things to remember at the very end. Dilation, we're going to be multiplying by that scale factor. To find the scale factor, our formula is dilation over original if we're going backwards. And on the graph, that prime figure, that's our new figure, our image, or our dilated figure. So you should have a worksheet to complete for homework this evening. If you don't, you should be able to find it on the website. And even if you don't have a printer, you can just jot down the problems and that will work just fine. If you have any questions, make sure you come see me.